don't like this experience. I feel trapped. And I said, oh, why do you feel trapped? And they're like, I don't know, this house is too small. And I said, wow, you know that you're not literally trapped, because you could take a step back from the table at any point.
So I just want to welcome you, Denmark,
Yeah.
with Think Inside the Box.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Chris, for having me here. This is awesome.
No, you're very welcome.
Seriously, I love your setup. It's so cozy and so inviting.
Well, I appreciate that. And you know what? I did the best I could. I'm kind of one of those guys that I'm pretty good at putting stuff together, but I'm my worst critic.
Oh.
So I'm like, yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah.
But I never think it's like, that great. And then,
Right.
I get awesome people like you that are like, oh, wow, this is really cozy and inviting. And,
Yeah.
And then, and then especially from my female guests, one, like I put the little kind of ambiance on the screen there and because one of the girls I had, she was an acupuncturist, actually my acupuncturist,
Right.
Hannah McNamara, very, very, very good acupuncturist, great gal, does animal rescue as well, very, very
wow.
kind-hearted, great soul person. But anyway, she was nervous
Right. Yes.
because
Of
you
course.
you think podcast and you almost equate it to like live television and something
Right.
like that. And then she sat down. She's like, "Oh wow, I like that fireplace in the back on the
Yeah.
TV. It kind of makes me. It's like calming."
Yeah.
And
exactly.
then she also said the same stuff. It's cozy, inviting. So yeah, it's important for me to people to feel comfortable, and like we were just talking, like I kind of decorate my stuff. It's me. It's
Yeah.
unapologetically me. It's
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a nerd, maybe I guess you could call me. I like superheroes. I grew
Sure.
up in the 90s, Ninja Turtles, Gargoyles, you name the comic books or the TV shows, the superheroes. I was into it, and
Yeah.
just like I shared, like unfortunate event, but my childhood home, my parents' house burnt down 2018. I don't know if I've ever really said that on here, but anyway, everybody was fine. It's a freak accident, but we had a lot of those Pokemon cards and Ninja Turtles and all the like 90s stuff, like when it first come out. So now I'm just focused on kind of my guilty pleasures, recollecting some of this stuff to kind of relive the nostalgia, I guess. I'm a big nostalgia guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
like when you're young, and I don't know if you've ever had this with your parents, maybe you have a little argument. You're like, I can't wait till I'm older and I can do whatever I want and live my own life and have my own house and drive my own car. And they're like, oh, don't wish your youth away.
Oh,
and now I'm like almost 40 and I'm like, yeah, I see what they're talking about.
Right.
But anyway, this isn't about me. This is about you.
I can listen.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I guess I wanted to start out, maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself. Have you always been in Halifax? How long you've been in Halifax?
Yeah.
Where you're from, little background.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I got to Halifax in 2020.
Nice.
Moved from Toronto. Like, I think a lot of people, there was like a wave during COVID of people kind of migrating east. Me and my partner, this is kind of like a dive, but there was not a lot of kind of upwards opportunities career-wise. And we thought during the pandemic, you probably remember this as well.
Yeah, of course.
And we thought, this is a good time to invest in education. My partner was interested in pursuing a master's.
Okay.
So we thought, let's use this time. If no one's hiring anyways, let's like get you a master's.
Yeah.
And,
like MBA, or is it a specific master's?
social work. She's a social worker.
Okay. We need those.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Bad.
And she was accepted to Dalhousie. So
Nice.
so
We're rivals then.
Yeah.
I went to St. Mary's.
Oh, right.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it's just kind of the local rivalry, I
Yes.
guess. SMU Dal. Me and my brother went to SMU, and then my sister went to Dal, and she thinks she's better than us. So.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding, but and kind of. But
Kidding, but not kidding.
right, yeah.
But yeah, threw our stuff into a U-Haul, drove here, and stuck around. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, there was definitely a big influx of people coming in when we were kind of going through that uncertainty because
yeah.
we had that Atlantic bubble and it was kind of portrayed as like
Yeah.
the safest
Yes.
and like, it's cool here down on the East Coast. I think
Oh, 100%.
I think people knew about us, but we were kind of like out of the limelight a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then this whole, I don't know, for better or for worse, or somewhere in between, we made our mark on the map, and everybody started wanting to be here. Which, I think we were overdue for a bit of growth. I think it come all pretty quick.
Yeah.
So there's some growing pains and some adjustment, but
Yep.
yeah, it's always cool to have new people from elsewhere coming in and making Halifax their home. So that's cool. What did you do when you kind of first got here? You're just kind of, your partner's doing the masters and social work.
So
and then,
yeah, it was really funny because so I was able to retain my position, my job from Toronto, just work remotely because everybody was working
Right.
remotely anyways.
Perfect.
Which did a little bit hinder my kind of integration socially, I would say, because I was still working on Ontario time. I was working with my old colleagues from Toronto.
Yeah, so
and
they're an
stuff.
hour ahead.
Yeah, but one of the things that was a big part of my life when I was living in Toronto was adapted sailing. I was a part of an adapted sailing club. So a sailing club dedicated for people with disabilities.
Okay.
And when I came to Halifax, I haven't been in Halifax before, but I heard, Nova Scotia Ocean Playground, Canada's Ocean Playground.
Yeah.
That's the
30 minutes in any direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I was very, very excited to join the community. And this is so funny, but I was in a bookstore on Spring Garden Road, and I saw this person in a wheelchair, and I just pounced on him and was like, "Hey, like, how are you? Sorry to bother you, but do you know if there's any adapted sailing here in Halifax? I'm really interested." And he was saying, is this a joke? Is this like, are you serious? And I was like, oh, yeah. Do you know of any? And he's like, you're kidding me? And I said, oh.
Thought you were messing with him.
Yeah, it was what I was saying. And he said, I'm the president of the Adapted Sailing Club here in Halifax.
Oh, you didn't even know. You just fell right into it.
I had no idea.
And he thought you were joking.
He thought I was pulling his leg. He thought that I already knew that.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, do you know any adapted sailing?
Yeah, I thought you were being smart or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Shout out, Jay. Miss you.
Right.
Well, he's fine or anything.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen you in a while.
No,
but,
for sure.
Yeah, so he scooped me right in, and I joined the Sail Able. That's the sailing club here. We sail out of the squadron and the Royal Nova Scotia Yacht Squadron.
Okay,
on
cool.
Cove.
Nice.
Yeah, and I've been sailing with them ever since.
So did you go to the GP races?
Yeah, SailGP.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Oh, holy moly! Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they're supposed to come back, I think.
It is.
What is it?
2 weeks or so.
Is it to 2 weeks?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like June 16 or.
Because what were
18?
they here? Was it 24?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's already been 2 years.
Time
Man,
flies.
time flies. I was gonna say
As well as those boats. But
I know.
there we go.
All right, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So you're definitely you're into it then. You like it. Yeah. That's,
Very, very much.
sailing is your passion?
Yeah, amongst many things, but
Yeah.
I absolutely love sailing. I'm not a racer. I don't know how to squeeze. It's like chess. A lot of people know how to move the pieces, but
we're not grandmasters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel. I can definitely move a boat. I know how to get a boat to where I want to go, but I don't know how to squeeze every knot out of that wind, I don't, but that's fine. I really just enjoy being on the water, and it's great, and I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, we grew up as Dad was a lobster fisherman, so Grant built so my father's name's Scott, and a tradition back home when you're fishing and you have your your boats and you're naming your boats. A lot of them, generally, if they have daughters, they'll name them after their daughters.
Okay.
But that's not a hard line thing that people do. But like my grandfather named it after my dad. So he had the Scotty Boy 1, 2, and then 3. And then by the time Dad had me, and I think my brother was probably born. And anyway, somewheres along the line, I think Gramp was in his late 50s, and he had a mini stroke and didn't know where he was, so Dad ended up taking over. So anyway, the long and short of it is pretty familiar with the water myself, maybe not to the degree of a sailor, because it was a throttle.
Yeah.
You want to crank all the knots out, you just put it down.
Yeah.
But also a bigger platform boat.
For sure.
And we're using it commercially to fish for lobsters. So
Nice.
some experience on the water. I wouldn't say I'm like a expert per se, but I do have my boating license. I do know,
There you go.
red, right, return,
Right.
port side, starboard side, stern, all that terminology for the most part I can kind of hang with. Once you get into like maybe some of the sailing stuff, like I'm not as well versed, but it wouldn't take me long to be around it to know.
Yeah.
Mind you, I will say that as I've gotten a bit older, I've gotten a bit more leery of the water.
Right.
Like because I know too much. It's dangerous.
Yes.
And I've seen too many people horse around on the water and get in trouble. And unfortunately, lobster fishing is a fairly dangerous occupation as well. And unfortunately, I've known a few guys my age. It's been quite a few years now that have unfortunately lost their lives in that industry. So it's I'm a very safety-oriented person when I'm on the water because I know that things can happen like this.
Yeah.
And then did you hear about the guy that passed away in the harbor not that long ago? Navy guy?
Shucks. No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was just a freak accident. But anyway, he was actually one of my best friends' neighbor.
Oh.
And it was a pretty big blow. But so, yeah, anyway, for anybody on the water, be careful.
Yes.
It's no joke.
No. No.
Take it seriously. But
yeah. And carry a radio.
Yeah.
Carry a radio.
Always.
And call for help early.
Always. Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as you think you need it.
Yeah. Or a little bit before.
Don't try and be a hero.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, and then we'll get right into what you do. But like one of the folks sorry, I'm getting wrapped up in my words. One of the guys back home that I knew, I'll say that I knew sparingly. I played hockey against him more than that's about the level that I knew him. Oh. But they were fishing, I believe it was swordfish or halibut.
Oh, wow.
And they were having a good trip, and they knew the bad weather was coming, and they were like, just a couple more.
Yeah.
And by the time they got the couple more, it was too late.
Oh, my goodness.
The storm was there, and it just...
Oh, gosh.
Nobody knows exactly what happens, but they started taking on water, and that was kind of it. And they were too far
my gosh.
to recover. But anyway, God rest their soul.
Wow.
We'll get out into a happier moment here. So
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about your business. And first off, I want to thank you. It's been a kind of a crazy journey doing this podcast and getting into real estate. And, I'm usually the one reaching out to people that are doing cool stuff because that's what it's all about. Cool businesses, cool people, doing cool stuff in Halifax, whether you're, a business person, entrepreneur, service-led person, laborer, whatever it is. If I think it's cool and people should know about it, I want to talk to you. I love a good story. And I like to know how things come about. So when people reach out to me, especially, and like found my podcast and think it's even worth their time coming, then it makes me want to do it even more.
Oh, that's excellent.
So I want to thank you for reaching out.
My goodness. No, thank you for having me.
So
Seriously.
it's a pleasure. Think inside the box. Why don't you kind of walk us through that? I know, you're involved in the sailing.
Yes.
Adaptive sailing community. What was the moment that kind of sparked the idea for this? And how would have it, volunteering in adaptive spaces kind of make this come about?
Yeah, thank you for the thoughtful question. So like I said, I used to volunteer in adapted sailing in Toronto, and I still do now. And when I started off in Toronto in the sailing club there, one of the volunteers there asked me, like, it was the end of the season, and he asked me, like, oh, so what are you doing for the winter? And I said, I don't know. What are you doing for the winter? And he said, oh, you're coming to volunteer with us. And they pulled me to volunteer in an adapted downhill skiing club. So I started volunteering in that as well. So this was, again, a skiing club, downhill skiing club dedicated for people with various disabilities. Huge fun, super, super fun, best crowd, honestly. And being involved in those circles, being involved in that community kind of led me to really notice that there is still a lot of gap in terms of recreation for people with disabilities. A lot of the things that, when you think about, like, oh, what can I do tonight? Maybe I'll go do this, maybe I'll do that. There's a variety, there's a plethora of things that you can choose from.
For able-bodied people, you mean?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And just from talking to other people from the communities, people who live with disabilities or other volunteers.
Or have family members,
Exactly. We started talking about what other spaces or what other forms of recreation have not yet been made more accessible or more inclusive in their in what they have to offer. And one thing led to another, and we landed on escape rooms. Have you ever participated in an immersive escape room?
No, but it's not to
Okay.
say that I wouldn't be into it. I just
Yeah.
never had, only so many hours in a day, and
Yeah,
I would
for
love to
sure.
try for sure.
Yeah.
I've watched a million movies that are kind of like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it would be a super fun activity. I haven't had the privilege of trying one.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great idea for sure for a night out or having people over or wherever you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. I really like it as well. I really enjoy. I think it's really unparalleled kind of adventure. It's very, as the same name suggests, it's very immersive. You get into a
cerebral,
room.
like you got to think.
You got to think.
Yeah.
You have to take in a lot of information and
Problem solve.
exactly. And usually, like, if you really wanted to describe it, it's you are presented with a situation or a mission. Usually, it's either find an item in the room or you have to try to leave the room, leave the locked space, hence the like escape room thing. And there's a series of interlocking puzzles and riddles and problems that you have to solve. So, you kind of notice this code, you use the code to open the lock opens the drawer, in the drawer you find the clue, the next clue takes you, and there you go in like a ongoing kind of waterfall kind of situation.
Yeah, kind of cascading
Hey,
effect.
thank you,
Yeah.
cascading. That's a great word.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that experience and how could it be made more accessible and more inclusive. And the first thing that I was trying to address is for people who use mobility devices. So people who maybe use walkers or maybe they use wheelchairs or maybe they use power wheelchairs, which are
Right.
usually a little bit bigger.
Yeah, bulkier, heavy.
Exactly. And so my thought was, okay, if we take the escape room idea and miniaturize it to a tabletop version, it can be, first of all, portable, so you can take it to someone rather than they go and seek out recreation elsewhere. And also they can play at a comfortable height with, enough lighting, without the kind of time crunch of it. Usually escape rooms are they kind of stress you out intentionally.
Right.
Like the
You only have so much time, and then you lose or whatever.
Exactly. So taking that idea, taking that concept of the room and miniaturizing it, I've made a box, and I brought one of my games today to show you.
Yeah. Do you want to
And,
get the tray out?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see if we can set it up.
Yeah.
I think it should be sturdy enough.
What's that?
I think you're good.
I think that's okay. Yeah.
Let's see if it's framed. Yeah, that'll catch it.
That's okay. Yeah. And I have a
It's
few.
gonna block us for a bit, but they can
Yeah,
still see.
I can put it down as
Yeah,
well
the
after.
whole point is to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of course you're real estate agent and
Right.
stuff, so I thought to try to stay on theme. So this is one of my games, and it's called Mansion. because it is literally a mansion. And could you get that other click thing? Yeah, perfect. So it looks a little bit like this. So this game specifically is a house, and when you are ready to begin, you start with this mission letter here to let you know your mission. You can check it out if you want. If you do get stuck at any point, even though I'm sure that you're pretty clever individual, but
I think sometimes
you do get a hints and solutions kind of
Okay.
booklet that comes with it. If you're stuck at like one point, you can get a little hint that way, and you get. Oh, sorry, I brushed the mic there.
That's okay. Don't worry about that.
And as well as sometimes if people play if they play the mission, they complete the mission, and they still want to kind of play around with the box some more, they have this treasure hunt here, which is not related to the main mission, but when you were growing up, did you have Where's Waldo books?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. There's a list of I don't know which camera, but there's a list of items here in this booklet that are hidden throughout the graphics of the box, and it's not related to the main mission, but it's really good. I find maybe you have maybe like a younger player, someone who maybe needs like their special mission,
Right.
to
And they're quick getting through the rest.
Exactly, and maybe the other puzzles are not going to be suitable for them. They can play this kind of treasure hunt game, or you play you play the mission, and you're done with it. You had a fun time, and then you try to like find all the other things.
Kind of reminds me, did you play video games much when you were younger?
I actually missed out on video games.
You didn't do video games?
I didn't do video games very much.
So it just reminds me of like Zelda was like Majora's Mask, and it was
Okay.
for Nintendo 64, and it was like a role-playing game. And you had like the main quests, but then you could also like the side quests. Like if you got bored, you could be like,
it's like a
find,
side
like,
quest.
you could do the main missions, but then you could find all the masks.
Okay.
You know, so
yeah.
if you got through the rest of the whole game, well, you could still play and just do all the side quests, and then so instead of being like, say 75% complete, then you could go 100%. I was sometimes a little impatient, so I just want to beat the game, beat the final boss. But then,
fair.
if you as a kid you don't have a ton of money to buy new games, so you got to keep entertained with what you have.
With
So
what you
it
have,
was just
yeah.
kind of remind me of that. So
Yeah,
so you
100%.
can kind of finish the main piece or puzzle, and then if you have time and want to explore further, you can use the little hints and kind of find the little other treasures in the house.
Exactly. And even though again my original idea or my original goal was to create a form of recreation that's more inclusive, that's more accessible, it's fun for everyone, and that's also very important to me. It's really important to me that people come together and have a good time together, and that it wouldn't, like, if you go to my website, it doesn't have like a huge wheelchair sign on it, because it's not supposed to be only for this community. This is
Right.
supposed to be for everyone, with including the disabled community in mind as well. And I will also say that I'm very, I want to be very careful with this. My games, even though I do put a lot of intention and I do really try to make them accessible, there's never, when it comes to accessibility, there's never accessible 100% for
Right.
everyone.
You're not going to hit everybody.
Exactly.
You're going to miss a couple, but for the most part,
Yes.
it can kind of cover all the bases for 90%, 80%.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there.
Yeah, and
Not
maybe
all 100% of people.
it's never going to be 100% for all, but I'm hoping that because this is a take-home experience, you're not bound by a specific amount of time, etc. Like maybe if you need to rely on a personal support worker or someone who provides your care, or maybe it's a collaborative effort with family members or etc. Whatever like your situation looks like, you can kind of enjoy this game together. That's really the point. Having fun together and trying to include as many people as we can in this.
Well, it might be a good idea because, like, Remax, we all work under the same roof, but we're kind of all our own individual businesses.
Right.
But we still kind of, have a tight-knit kind of family, we'll call it.
Yeah.
So we generally do have events that we do together, like bowling or Halloween party or a Christmas party or whatever. And I just thought, it might be good to have, like, throw this in the mix and have, like, do a gathering in the boardroom, and then it's like, we're gonna try and get through this escape room or this escape home, and I think it'd just be a fun thing to develop some more cohesion inside of the brokerage.
100%. So, and sorry that this is going to sound very like sales pitchy, but I'd like to, if it's okay, I'd like to share. So
that's what you're here for. It's all about you, man. You pitch away.
So like mentioned, this game, I have another game called Wild, which is also, it's very decorated, but these are very intimate, up-close magic. I would say that this Mansion and Wild are better for for 3 to 5 players, max. Because not a lot of people, if you go more than that, not everyone gets like the hands-on experience of like interacting with the box. But I have another game called Box Rush. And Box Rush is essentially 4 identical boxes that is more suited for 12, 16, 20 players.
So a party.
So it's a party. And you take everyone in the room, you divide them into 4 teams, and each team gets an identical box. And we go 3, 2, 1, and everybody starts playing at the same time. And it's way more, I would say, Mansion is very, it's very mignon. It's very nice. It's very highly decorated and stuff. Box Rush is like, bam, 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 bam. It's really high octane.
Intense.
Yeah. It's like,
so it keeps you engaged.
Very, very much.
Yeah.
And so if you are looking for, again, I'm not sure how many people exactly work here in Remax, but I'm assuming like 20 at least or so.
Oh, there's quite a bit more, but
okay, yeah. So
but it's not like, I think there's 300 agents between Dartmouth, Bedford, Enfield, Windsor, Spring Garden. But not everybody participates, and some are spread out across the province. So
yeah, fair.
But we do have like a tight knit core group of folks that usually are at all the events. So yeah, I guess if we did launch it or have an event, like it have to be capped. So
yeah, or we do more than once.
Yeah.
You have me over
for sure.
a few times.
If your business is missing calls, then you're losing business too. 76% of callers don't leave a voicemail, and 62% call the competitor. So text or call the number on the screen and get your voice AI receptionist set up now and never miss another call again. Furthermore, mention Chris and your first 90 days are free.
I was just kind of curious of some of the challenges that maybe you come across in designing the boxes, and how did you come up with all the ideas and the secrets and
Well, again, very thoughtful question. Thank you. So I would say maybe let's take this down so we can still get like our faces kind of thing.
Yep. Just put it on the floor.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because then I can still see what you're looking at.
I just wanted the dramatic reveal.
Yeah. Well, it looks super cool.
Oh, thank you so much. So that's such a good question. So when I started designing the thing, I was really trying to pack as many puzzles as I can into a fairly small, compact structure. And my parameters was the door of a small private car.
Okay.
That was my parameters. I was like, it has to fit into a small car because not everyone has
just
a truck.
the back seat
Exactly.
for sure.
So
because otherwise, how are they going to get it to A to B?
Precisely. So the first thing I started doing was playing a lot of free online escape games. I started playing a ton, as many as I could find. There are a lot out there. Sorry, they're not. Some of them are very good, some of them are less good, but I played a lot of them to get ideas for puzzles, but then I found, you were asking what's a challenge. one of the challenges that I had was transferring puzzles from the virtual into the physical. Because when you're playing, and you played video games, so you know this, that like when you're playing a virtual game, if you don't put in the like MacGuffin into the right spot, it won't work.
Right.
But in the physical world, someone can like shimmy it in, or they can like force it in, or something.
There's, in the virtual world, it just fits or doesn't.
Exactly. It either fits or it doesn't. You have collected your X amount of fetch quest, or you didn't.
Right.
But in the physical world, like sometimes you really need that hard stop. Like you cannot enter without finding the correct key, etc. So that was a little bit of a challenge. I found that, that, and the other challenge, which I think I overcame pretty easily, relatively, but at the beginning I was looking for off-the-shelf solutions for some of my mechanisms.
Okay.
And I found that a lot of times so for example, if you look at these hinges, that's what I mean by like an off-the-shelf. So
so you get just getting that at Home Hardware, Kent or something, Home Depot.
Correct, exactly. But these levers, for example, I couldn't find something that I really was happy with at that size. So that at the beginning that was challenging, until I was just like, I'll 3D print it.
I was just going to ask if you 3D printed those. They look 3D printed. My brother has a 3D printer. Or sorry, no. He wants one. I got him some mounts done for his at-home office, like computer monitors. And it was crazy. Cool. He was like, yeah, I need these. Do you know somebody? I was like, yeah, my buddy has one. And he just sent me like the schematic.
Yeah.
And my buddy was like, yeah, it's ready. Come get it. And it was just perfectly printed. I give it, and it worked.
It's fantastic.
It's wild.
It's wild. We're living in the future. Oh, it's wild.
It's a wild time to be alive.
Yeah. But I mean, but seriously, it's so nice. So once that kind of hurdle like that, overcame the like approach to stop kind of quote unquote wasting your time looking for off the shelf solutions, and just 3D print them. And then, there was trial and error there as well, finding like different materials and stuff, blah, 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 blah. But so the box is mostly 99% is laser cut with UV printing. So the graphics are UV printed on wood. And then the mechanisms and some of the things is 3D printed, and especially like the mechanisms inside that keep things running. I make it sound so tech. It's not techy. It's all spring loaded and
it's intriguing.
and then some, a lock or something. It's
how old's your roof?
How old?
It's just a real estate joke.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, just funny. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
No. It's all good.
Did you? So it's all UV printed. So actually, the girls over here, Megan and Mary Jane, they actually had somebody come and they had a printer print like their logo on the wall.
Oh wow!
And I was like, "What's going on here?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're just putting our branding on the wall." And I was like, "Oh wow!" So it's like I would imagine it might be somewhat of the same thing. Mm-hmm. Where you'd run these panels through and they just print. So they did the roof, they did the walls.
Yeah.
And then did you fabricate any of it on your own, or did you kind
of the beta version? So
the beta version. So
what I did, so what you're looking at now is obviously the more refined, like the nicer product. But at the beginning, at the beginning, it's a foam core model. So I use foam core to create a model as a proof of concept to show, like, this is the idea, this is the rough thing, etc. Mm-hmm. And then I would make one from wood, very rough. So I would just buy, 1/4-inch plywood, cut it with my saws, and paint it with a paintbrush myself, to have a sturdier model that then I have people play and test. And then if that proves, and then usually I can flush out some bugs there. Usually there's like, this doesn't really make sense, or this drawer has to move like 3 inches to the left, whatever, like all kinds of the innards kind of need to shift around. And then once that's okay, like if let's say we get 10, 15 people play and they give it a thumbs up, everything seems to work, etc., then I would go and manufacture this in like a high quality UV print and stuff like that. Yeah.
So from your first home or box,
Yeah.
however you want to refer them to, like how many iterations did it take you before you got to
This one.
or
Yeah.
or a finished game?
4, I want to say 4.
4 versions.
Yeah, 4 versions because I was aiming. This is really the behind the scenes of everything. I was aiming for an hour entertainment. I was like, if somebody rents this box, my model is renting, so you rent this for 24 hours, and very much based on the escape room genre. Usually, you are expecting an hour entertainment out of this. And the reason I was saying between 3 and 4 versions is because none other than my sister, of course it had to be my sister, crushed my box in like 27 minutes. And
She's a genius.
And I was like, oh no, that's
So
no
did
good.
you use her to set up any more?
Yes. So
Did you?
after,
She helped you? Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
she heavily inspired me to add a few more puzzles and to kind of complicate it a little bit further because I really felt like, if somebody rents this out and they get like 25 minutes out of it, that's they're gonna feel like
They got slighted a little bit.
a little bit, yeah. So I
Or you
I
could
added
be like,
in-
it's supposed to be done in an hour. I got it 25. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
here.
Exactly. I usually tell people, my games are like ice cream. Just because you finished first doesn't mean that you enjoyed it the most.
Hey, yeah.
You know?
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife always gets after me because she's like a slow eater and she like chews everything
Right.
and enjoys. And she's like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of, it's more like, I love food too, but it's like more of like a fuel for function.
Right.
But I still love it.
Yeah.
But I don't really take my time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like, not an animal,
and-
but
and some people like that's their fun.
Yeah.
The adrenaline. They're like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
great. Like,
keep moving.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, why not?
I like to be in
But,
motion so I can relate, but
Yeah, fair. So trying to again, I also want to be respectful of your time and stuff. But
but we got plenty of time.
oh, okay, great.
Yeah, I usually try and keep these like an hour, and we're like 40 minutes in. So
Okay,
don't worry about
perfect. So taking a step further, and what I've been working on very recently, which I'm very, very excited about, is that, so like I said at the beginning, the idea was to overcome the barrier of mobility, of specifically of the like, if you go, how can I get an attraction that is played at a comfortable height, etc., etc. And then I was thinking, how can I make a game that is more appealing or more accessible to people who are blind? So,
Oh wow!
so right now, if you kind of look at the box, it's not, and you imagine yourself not relying on your vision. There is not like, for example, let's say there's some flowers here, right? They're graphics. So there's no depth to them. They're just graphic on the
They're
thing.
not raised at all.
Exactly, they're not raised. So if you were a non-sighted person, that would be meaningless to you. You wouldn't really notice that there are flowers or markings here at all. And stuff,
Or
right?
the shingles.
Or the shingles.
Yeah.
Precisely. So so I set out and I basically changed and tweaked and added every element of the box to be in some sort of relief to make it tactile and more interesting for a person who is non-sighted. So for example, instead of just having the shingles on the roof in graphics, I laser cut shingles and glued them on the roof. So no, in the accessible version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Cool, cool.
So like this mansion box, I have another mansion box that is accessible for the blind. And
That's cool.
And thanks. I think so too.
Yeah, that
I
is
think so
cool.
too. And for example, instead of having these flowers just as graphics, I 3D printed the flowers and
they're
put
on.
them on.
That's
So
cool.
then you can feel them. And so, yeah. And I've done that to every element of the box that is a clue or a hint or anything that has to do with solving
So
a
they can
puzzle.
be feeling around, and then they're like, oh, here we are.
Precisely.
Oh, what is this? And they can kind of work through it.
Precisely. So
That is
you.
neat. That's very
and-
thoughtful.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And on top of all of that, I got an audio guide. So do you know how when you go to a museum, you go to you get an audio guide and you press you press 5 and you go 5 play and it goes like doo 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 doo. Welcome to ancient Egypt.
Yeah,
So, right?
100%.
And then you walk into something and you press like 5, 6, and you press and you're standing in front of the sarcophagus. The sarcophagus was like kind of like that. So
I'd almost even enjoy that. Yeah, just like directive or instruction, you know?
Yeah. So using that, I developed an audio guide. It's a physical. I should have brought it. I don't know why I didn't bring it.
That's
but,
okay.
It is a physical, tactile audio guide. So again, a person who is non-sighted could make use of it. So you can feel the buttons. The buttons are raised almost like an old school telephone, like that you could feel the buttons. And on the box, there are tiles with raised dots. The tiles are very similar to domino tiles.
Okay.
So they have a left and a right. And I instruct players to feel the tiles from left to right. And if they count, let's say they count 2 dots on one side and 3 on the other, then they should play track 23.
Okay.
Okay? So that way, with their hands, they feel the box, and then they come upon a tile, and they're like, oh, I found a tile.
And then they play.
And then they feel like, oh, 4, 6, play track 46. And they get instructions. It's not so much instructions, it's more the verbal description of whatever part of the box they're encountering right now. Yeah, I'm stoked about this.
I think it's fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And so far, had 3 people who are low vision or completely blind play the game. They've managed to play the entire game. So off the bat, I'm like, okay, so
We did it.
we did it. Because if they would have gotten stuck at the same puzzle again and again, I would have said, oh, okay, so I need to do
Right.
some
We gotta
tweaking
tweak it.
here. But the fact that 3 different individuals completed the mission, they finished the game. You know, it took them maybe a little bit longer, a little bit less time, whatever.
That's
but
okay.
but the fact that this is a new form of recreation that, as far as I know, does not exist anywhere.
I don't think so.
I've never heard exact. And if they did, it's not in Halifax. I think this is a very unique thing.
I did a little bit of high-level preliminary research when you reached out, and I was like, yeah, this guy's definitely doing something unique.
No, thank you so much.
Yeah. So, no, I couldn't find anything either, and I think it's awesome. Is the version for the vision impaired?
Yes.
The newest edition, and when would you have released this?
Yeah. Honestly, it's pretty ready. I think I think there's still a few comments that I got from those test runs that they were saying, oh, maybe use this language here, maybe change a little bit the audio track there. That I intend to do a little bit more recording and tweaking. But I think
But the tactile experience for them was
yeah.
still good. It was just more the directive.
Yes,
on the
exactly.
audio.
Exactly.
That was a little confusing, or I don't know what the feedback was. But
Yeah, but I would say let's say mid-July. I think I will be ready for absolutely anyone who would enjoy.
Oh, so it's still kind of in beta processing, kind of. Not
No,
beta,
I think
but
I think it's pretty ready.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident with it. I think with those audio tweaks, I think
You're good to
it's
go.
good to go. Yeah, and I would say, again, the point of playing together, if you, any of the listeners, if you have a family member who is low vision or completely blind, or whatever it is, and I would say try this game out, and I would encourage the rest of you to wear a blindfold, because
I was just thinking about that. I'd love to try that.
yeah, because I think that could be a really interesting experience for you all, to kind of flip the script a little bit, like, and if you have someone in your life with vision loss, etc., putting them kind of more in front and center, and
Yeah, you experience what they experience, but you do it together.
Exactly, but and let them take the lead. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool. Now, I wanted to ask you this question, but I feel like the topic we just talked about may be the most memorable, but maybe you have some other examples. So I guess I was just curious, like, has there been any other memorable customer experiences that kind of made you realize that the impact of your business is having on, whether it's total strangers or people that you're friends with or family members?
Oh my gosh, thank you again. Thank you so much for the question. Yes, extremely memorable was, so another way that I think, like, my games are useful is to practice a little bit of that experience of being frustrated and being kind of, scratching your head and not being sure, etc. And I collaborated with an organization called Independent Living Nova Scotia.
Okay.
And Independent Living, as the name suggests, they support individuals to live the most independent life that they can, whatever that means to them. And again, shout out to Independent Living. And they brought me on as for their skills building program, to work with a group of individuals who have autism, and it was more about, like, learning that type of critical thinking, not in the abstract sense of critical thinking, like, I'm being critical of some, but more of the more practical critical thinking, in the sense that I am seeing a lock, therefore I should be looking for a key. And more so, I see that the lock is white, so therefore I probably am looking for a white key. So practicing these types of problem-solving skills, which are essential for living,
Of course.
period.
Yeah, you got to work through problems every day.
Yeah. So I was there working with being a part of this program, and this person, young person, was playing with the box, and I could see that they are getting stressed. They're very, they're jumping around. They're, like, clicking their fingers a little bit. Like, they're doing a lot of these signs of stress.
Yeah, there's a hurdle and they can't get around.
Yeah, and I approached them and I said, like, hey, what's going on? Like, think out loud here. What do you, like, tell me what you're feeling and stuff. And they said, I don't like this experience. I feel trapped. And I said, oh, why do you feel trapped? And they're like, I don't know, this house is too small. It's like, it's too thick and stuff. And I said, wow, you know that you're not literally trapped, because you could take a step back from the table at any point. You like, if you were literally trapped in this house, you would be a pixie. You would be a very, very small creature if you were trapped. And I got them a little bit laughing, and they're like, yeah. And I said, you would be teeny tiny if you were literally trapped in my box. You're not trapped in the box.
You'll be a little doll.
You'll be a little doll. Take a step back, take a breath, come back, and stuff. But later, I was like, if my game managed to evoke such a reaction, it means that I've managed to simulate the immersive escape room experience enough to get this person,
because they felt like
because they felt it.
They felt it.
They felt it. They were in it. They were in the story.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, and not to say that I'm happy that I got them a little anxious, right? But I was happy with my creation, because, again, like, my original was, how could we make a more accessible, more inclusive escape room experience for people? So that was very memorable, obviously, eh, from there. And yeah, and I also do think that, for again, like something I'm very excited about, the kind of visually accessible box. I'm thinking like I would love to collaborate with, maybe IWK, with Rehab, Nova Scotia Rehab.
Well, we do
or
huge
something.
stuff with IWK. It's our main sponsor.
Yeah.
We actually have a big IWK charity golf tournament coming up June 22nd.
Oh, wonderful.
So let me
Yeah.
see what I can do. I could probably connect you.
Oh
and
my gosh.
see if we could help out, and
Yeah.
it might be another channel in to help some more people.
Yeah, I'd love that because I think like yes, this could be all fun and games, and I think that for the right community or the communities that would benefit from it, there is an opportunity here for skills development, for just like being in that like I'm frustrated space and I don't know what to do, but I need to solve it and I need, et cetera, et cetera. So, which
I think problem solving skills are important in whatever level or aspect of your life. Because
Exactly.
we're all encountering problems day to day. And it's how we deal with them that I think makes the difference.
Yeah.
If you're always frustrated and to the point that you can't work through anything, then, you're losing some of the utility of kind of working through those things. So you kind of got to learn and take a breath and like, guess what? I get frustrated sometimes too because I can't do what I'm trying to do. And then, you know what? You got to take a step back or maybe you sleep on it and then you go back to it and then you work some more. And it's like you get a little success here and you're like, okay, and now we're here. And then next thing, you did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, right on, check the box.
Yeah.
We're good. So that's cool. And that's a great story. And I think it's super cool that, it's not, you're not in the room, but you're kind of in the room in your mind.
In your mind, yeah.
So, mission accomplished. You've definitely developed something that is immersive enough that it made somebody feel like they're actually trapped, which I think is like, main objective, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Another question, I guess, obviously we're dominated by screens in this world today in the 21st century. And I find more and more, I feel like, although we're doing a podcast and it's going to go on a screen and probably somebody's going to watch it and we want people to watch it. So there's utility for that too. But I feel like we're almost overwhelmed with screens. And I think people are looking for a more kind of unique face-to-face experience or like real world interaction. And I think this is kind of something exactly that people would need. What's your kind of thoughts on that? Or was that inside of your thought process when you kind of come to the realization that this had a place in the world?
I absolutely agree. I'll be perfectly honest. I think like one of the reasons that this is a physical game and it doesn't have like an app and you don't create an account to play this, etc., is also because that's not my wheelhouse. I'm not a computer science background like individual. I don't know programming and stuff like that. So but I do agree with you. I do think that there's less and less games that don't rely on like the screens and
PlayStation, Xbox, PC on your phone.
Exactly. VR set and stuff, which are also very cool. But yeah, I would I don't want to pour like meaning and thought into where it wasn't, but it's mostly that I just don't know how to do those things that led me to do this. But I do think that specifically in Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia is aging.
Population's aging for sure.
It's one of the I think if you look at the
demographics,
the demographic pyramids, like Nova Scotia is definitely like top heavy, which is wonderful. I think it's something to notice and to make sure that there are services and businesses attending to those needs, and I was also imagining like, yeah, that this could be a game. I would love for it to have old hands, young hands, everybody again playing together.
All types of hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
playing this game together. And I would say that, and I don't want to, I don't want to generalize, and I don't want to be ageist, but I would say that by and large, the less barrier that people have to the actual game, like creating an account, logging in, all of those.
Yeah, like elderly people aren't doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just as
It's
example.
Yeah.
And like probably other people too that maybe aren't as tech savvy. So it's like,
exactly.
so they can literally pick up the phone and call, or how would you go about like maybe bring me through
How do you
kind of
rank?
the order process? Like
Yeah.
how, yeah.
So, so right now, if you can go to my website. It's thinkinsidethebox.net, and you go to the booking form. And right now, I am very fortunate to be collaborating with Captured Escape Room down on Barrington Street.
Okay. And they're a physical room?
Yes, they are a physical room, but they've been very, very kind and helping me with the distribution of the boxes. So you can rent the game to play at home, but you just have to pick it up and drop it off in that location on Barrington Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So very easy.
Yeah, I think so. And and I tell people this as well, like, if you have an issue of getting there, especially again, like thinking of people who live with mobility challenges or stuff, just reach out. Reach out, write to me, call me.
Yeah.
All of the information is on the website, or reach out on Instagram, and we'll work something out. Like, honestly, it's I'm very, very fortunate that this is a side passion. This is not my kind of main source of income. So I am happy to just get more people playing and enjoying it. That's more important than making another sale. So
yeah, money isn't everything.
Yeah.
Fulfillment has a place.
Yeah.
Obviously, we need to pay the bills, but yeah, no, that's a great approach. What has entrepreneurship kind of taught you about yourself that maybe you didn't know before starting Think Inside the Box? You find it's like developed you into a better human, or what?
Oh my God, no. Wow. I think that entrepreneurship taught me how impatient I am with myself specifically. I think
I can relate to that.
Yeah, yeah. I think also, like, becoming an entrepreneur. I think it's very you get that mindset stuck in you, and you start thinking of other ideas immediately. Like, it's really contagious in that sense. And I was actually working on a different idea that I had, which was this is such a digression, but I had an idea. I thought it was great. I thought it was a good idea. I validated it. I had 30 discovery calls with people in the field, and turns out my idea is terrible, which is great to know early.
Yeah. You don't want to be too far down the line.
No. And then it was a little bit hard to conclude those, and I sent myself like that benchmark of like, you must do at least 30 phone calls with people in the industry, and I finished that up, and I thought I had a good idea. It's not a good idea, and it was a little bit hard. You're like, oh, am I a one-trick pony? Did I have one good idea and then never again? And stuff, but then I'm like, okay, but be more patient with yourself. Like, maybe think of other things. Maybe there's another idea that you could have. So
maybe you're a little anxious to get another idea going, and you just didn't give yourself enough grace to take the time to develop it. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just stipulating, but
no, for sure. Because when you have an idea as an entrepreneur, and again, I think I'm speaking to one as well.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I think so.
Yeah. So you can very early, at least I think you should very early on, like try to validate quickly and then decide, did my validation led me to pivot? Am I going to change? Or did it lead me to abandon? Or did it lead me to pursue? Like, and all are fair. Like they're all good results. If you do validation early and you really are like, wow, this was not a good idea, then choose abandoned. Like I personally think like, have another idea. Think of other things think of other communities you might be able to help. Like, like
what is a problem that you can help solve?
Try to identify more gaps. And I think that goes back to what I was saying at the very, very beginning, that the first thing that we saw was a recreation gap for people with disabilities. And that's what I was trying to tackle. That's what I was trying to address. In the latest idea that I had, it turned out that was not actually a gap. That I thought I saw a gap, but there wasn't one. Or maybe, the price point and the desirability point was not matching. Whatever. Not to get too jargony.
No, yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah. And now I have a different idea that I'm working on.
Hey, well, you're getting more ideas, right?
Yeah.
So I can attest, like, I've had some ideas where I was like, maybe the real estate, maybe I could do this, and then I'll do a little research, and I think it's a great idea, and I'm like kind of working some stuff out, and then I'm like, okay, and then maybe I'll use a little chat GPT and be like, hey, any businesses like, this in the area? And it's like, oh, actually, there's like 5.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I mean, not to say that it's like oversaturated, but like I thought I had an original idea. Apparently, it's not.
Yep.
I thought like one of the ideas I had was like, it's like we said, we're like 30 minutes from anywhere. You're on the ocean, you're on a lake, you're on, wherever. And I was like, what about if like people have, people got boats?
Yeah.
What about if they break down? And maybe they don't want to call the Coast Guard because maybe they're just like right there.
Right.
And maybe they just ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Maybe they, something minute happened. I was like, maybe there's like a tow truck, but for boats.
Yeah.
But that already exists.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
I just kind of thought of it. And I was like, I looked into it and then I was like, did some research. And I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't too invested.
Yeah.
I didn't buy a boat or anything.
Excellent.
And then I was like, oh, well, they're already doing that. I don't know if they're doing a good job of it, but maybe I like to look for something a bit more original.
Yeah.
Not to say it has to be original because, even though things exist, you could make it better, refine it, make it more user-friendly, more accessible, whatever it may be. But yeah, no, I can definitely relate. I like to go. And if I think I got one thing right, I think I'm going to get the rest, but it's not really like always a linear up.
100%.
And I had to learn that in the real estate business because like entrepreneurship, like business, it's all cyclical. There's ups, there's downs, there's seasonalities.
Yeah.
And then when you think you get a little bit of traction, you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep skyrocketing to the moon.
Yeah.
But then maybe the next year is like still okay, but you didn't grow. You kind of maybe a little step back. And maybe the industry was a little soft that year, the market, whatever. But then you just got to, if this is what you want to do, you just got to persevere through.
Yeah.
And then eventually maybe you go down, but you go back up. And
Exactly.
So you just got to kind of ride the wave, I guess is what I'm saying.
Very, very true. And like, man, I feel like a walking cliche. I don't think this is any novel advice or anything. Not that you asked for advice, like, but I'm
happy
I'm
to
thinking
take
for
advice.
for listeners
Of
and
course.
stuff. I would say like, and it's so hard, but really try to be like kind of as conservative and as realistic as you can with your investments, especially financially. I'm very, very, very fortunate and very privileged that I was able to put my own money and like into this idea, and I never had to take a loan. Right. I never had to like rent a space and
so you don't have lease payments, you don't have a ton of overhead or maybe any.
Exactly. And I jokingly say like the boxes, like it's not like I bought, a bunch of bananas and I need to sell them as quickly as I can because they're going bad in the storage, right? If there's 1 week that nobody plays the box, it's too bad, but it's also not the end of the world because it's not depreciating in any way, really. So I think maybe if somebody out there is an entrepreneur, are trying to do something like great, but I would really, really stress like try to work on validation, realistic validation early, instead of investing and like learning as you go, unless you have the capital, unless you have and you're taking like risks and investments within your comfort level. I always joke with my friends that I would love to be rich, and hot take, like
everybody.
And I think being rich is absolutely the best, because if you think about it, you can just pay things into existence, even if they're not like a feasible business idea, even if they're not that like, good. But if you can like just pay for this because this is your hobby, you can make a lot of beautiful things in the world. And I find that really, really appealing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's, yeah.
I think there's tremendous upsides to being wealthy or rich or having money. And I think the right people having that money can do cool things.
Yeah.
And yeah, it gives you access to try different stuff and help. And yeah, that's the beauty of it. Money's a tool.
Yeah,
exactly. You can't really look at it as much more than a tool, because it generally doesn't like make you happier, but it could provide you the opportunities to make you happy. Does that make sense?
I think it does. To me, at least, it does.
Yeah.
I think it.
Because if money's your only goal, you're probably going to be miserable. Like just having the money.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're working towards bettering, an industry or a gap in the community, and you can afford to problem solve it and bring it to fruition, I feel like there's big value there.
Exactly.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, what would be like your ultimate design?
Ultimate design.
Yeah, like have you thought? I know we're talking about ideas and like, down the road, maybe the next, in your growth plan or whatever that looks like for you. If you could design kind of like the ultimate think inside the box challenge, kind of based around your own life story, like what do you feel like would be like in the box or involved in that box, or is that something you put much thought into? It's kind of putting you on the spot here.
Yeah. No, thank you for putting me on the spot. So I don't know if this exactly answers your question, but I have this idea for a box that I thought would be really, really cool if I tried to do... I have this idea for like an oven. So instead of a house, it's an oven. And I was imagining this as like for kids' birthday parties. And how amazing would it be and how magical would it be if they solve the box and they set all the knobs of the oven correctly, and they have to like find the ingredients and put it in and and then they click everything into place, and the last thing they do is like set a 10 seconds timer, and then it goes like tick, 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 ding, and they open it up and there's actually a cake in there,
like a real cake.
Yeah, that is the birthday cake.
Idea.
I think it could be so funny and so fun, and you just kind of...
So nobody gets any cake unless you solve the box.
Unless you solve the box. And I just think that
awesome.
Could be... I think that the like magic of, I imagine like, they open the oven door and they put in like a tray with all the like ingredients in it, and it's all like plastic and like 3D printed stuff and things like that. But there's like a false floor, and you put like and you tell the parent like just open this latch and slide in the cake. The cake has to be this dimensions, slice it in, and you close it. And then the kids like and then they open it and it drops the false floor. And
the cake is there.
And
so
there's
they
an
feel like they
actual
made
cake.
it.
And they made it. Like, how magical is that? That would be hysterical.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, I think that's.
I'll be waiting for that iteration to come out.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's the ultimate one, but it's definitely like an idea that I've been.
Yeah, I just
trying
threw
to
the
think.
word
It's like-
ultimate in there. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But that's cool. I mean, we got an 8-month-old little girl, and I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
that could be like a cool birthday party, especially for like young kids.
Yeah,
she's a little
exactly.
bit obviously too young to get it now, but like as
No,
they
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
develop and they're a bit older.
Yeah, but like a 4 or 5
Yeah,
year olds
you
kind
know.
of thing. Like,
Because she's already like very good at like problem solving little
Yeah.
things and like with their blocks and stuff. So it'd just
Oh,
be cool
nice.
to also watch like that process happen with like her friends and like hey, like we could put this in here and then
Yeah.
maybe we gotta help a little bit. But no, that's super cool. Like I don't even know. Like I sometimes I'm like, man, I'm not really that creative. So like it's you know what I mean? Like I'm like I just. So, like, for people like you that come up with these ideas, it's just amazing to me because I'm not saying that I couldn't, but maybe I just never put the time in. But it's fantastic that you're doing this on your as a side hustle to help the community. You've seen the gaps. I mean, it's a very honorable thing to be doing. Like,
thanks. Yeah.
So I think it's amazing that you've come here. You're a Halgonian and you're already helping out the community. Yeah, I definitely am interested. I'd love to give it a try at one of my next kind of little whether family gatherings or have a couple friends over and maybe it's just like a low key kind of night
Exactly.
and have like order some food and maybe if you like wine or whatever you
Whatever,
like.
yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of just hang out with your friends and you just kind of work through it for an hour and then you can watch your movie or go home or do whatever.
Exactly.
So listen, Or, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you again for coming on. Reaching out, number one, means a lot to me. I know you're a busy fella, and we got to let you get back out in the world, but thanks again for coming.
Thank you so much. This
When
was
you get the
absolutely
cake game
great.
out,
Yeah.
we'll have you back.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And we'll see if we can help link you up with the IWK there because I think there's be some upside for you there,
Yeah,
too.
I would really, I think, and again, first of all, thank you again. Also, thank you so much for your
course.
time and thanks for having me in this beautiful space. I would say, I'm a one-person show. I, build the things and coordinate the things and the other stuff. So any help from the community of like making those connections to decision makers, that's huge. That's a huge help I think for any small business, but especially like one-person businesses that like that is the biggest help that you can help a small business is just link them up with decision makers with the people who will use or buy or rent those services. That's the most help you can get.
No, absolutely. And, just a little shameless brand plug for me. Like I call myself, your network realtor. This is the Halifax Network podcast. I pride myself on my network. They say network is net worth. And my connections is really some of my, I guess we'd maybe call it competitive advantage over some other agents. I got a big network, especially when you're working with me out in the field. If you need a plumber, an electrician, a contractor, I got them all, and I got the best ones. And I have connections to people and through this type of interaction, through my old life in consumer packaged goods. So yeah, it's definitely something that I'm proud of to know the people that I know and to help the people that I've helped. So I'd be happy to do that. Anything that I could do to push it along for you and see some more success. I'm super happy to do that.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
It was great meeting you.
Oh my goodness.
Have a great day. We'll
You
let
as
you
well.
back out in the world. Happy Friday and have a great weekend.
You as well.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.